So I would now like to invite on the similar pointers that were discussed, thoughts of Mr. Kiran Das from Pulse Pharmaceuticals. So what do you have to say, Mr. Kiran, on the subjects that we're talking? Yeah. Thank you for joining. Yeah.
Thank you, Ekta. Thank you. Hope I'm audible. Yeah.
Yes, you are.
First, let me second the thoughts of Grish Kumar. Absolutely right. Regulatory compliances are becoming the most important aspect for any pharma company to be not just in the advanced markets, even to be operational in your own country. I think it is time for every pharma company to understand that regulatory compliances is to be taken as a given, and for which I fully agree with Grish when he says that you need to use technology, or technology becomes the backbone for ensuring that we are absolutely in a compliant environment. Training has its merit, while it does help us improve a lot. If you augment it with technology, you are ensuring that your failure chances are almost nil. This is done if you are using the right technologies and integrating all the technologies together. What Anup mentioned was very important, where he was mentioning about how you can bring all the data to single points and you're able to make each data talk to each other. That's one of the challenges. Any organization grows over a period of time. And when you're growing over a period of time, one of the challenges you're going to pass through the regulatory changes which happen over a period. What was an acceptable practice 5 years back would become an unacceptable practice. What was not known 5 years back becomes known today and needs to be better tracked and better controlled. So in this kind of an environment, the best bet is to invest in technology, the right technologies, to make sure that you are able to manage all your regulatory compliances using the appropriate technology. There is always an outcome in terms of the productivity improvement which happens as part of the compliances. It seems like a cost at the beginning. If you're looking at a relatively smaller sector company, they will look at it as a cost, saying that can we manage it with our people itself? I would say that that's a mistake many companies make, because based on the size of the organization, the kind of people you're able to bring in, the talent you're able to bring in, would also have its set of advantages and disadvantages. To be cost competitive, a relatively mid-sized organization would invariably have a compensation bracket which would not attract the best industry people, which ends up with a situation where they need to be more efficient. Now, how are you going to make them more efficient? If they're going to have more number of regulatory issues, they're going to become inefficient, even though they are mentally prepared to go that extra. Adopting the right tools is very important for ensuring that the productivity of the person is supported adequately. Training with right technology will definitely make a lot of difference. We are moving now into a data-driven world. Everything is data-driven. And I'll just give a small analogy for everybody to understand my thought. You might have grown, the company would have grown over a year, maybe 10, 15 years, you're into manufacturing, you have the same facility. It's not an asset that you can quickly change or quickly make differences based on the changing scenario. So there would be a lot of information which would have been captured over a period of time. There would be some understanding of the equipment, the machines, the way they're working. Now, if this information is all into paper format, it becomes a knowledge which is lost over a period of time. Employees turnover, your heads turnover, all this leads to a situation where a lot of knowledge gets lost. If you build a proper integrated system where you are able to store all your data, then this knowledge, when you're bringing in newer technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, all of it together, you can use it on a consistent basis. You can become ready for every change. That is the most critical power of the technology which we need to keep in. There has, when we are looking at, I heard Anup mention about some equipments where you are able to pull the data directly from the equipments. different equipments have different ways in which they give the data. You need to bring it together and make it in a format where all the data is in a similar format and able to work on that base data and bring out directions for your people to operate. The leadership team should be in a position to get alerts, get decisions, and for which you need to have the right technology. And let me first also bring to everybody's notice that I am not a person from the quality side or from the manufacturing side. So there are limitations in what I would be saying. But more from a strategic perspective and a leadership perspective, I believe that unless you have the right investments made, you would not be in a position to get the benefits of the other investments you're making, be it a training investment, be it a new equipment investment that you're making. To get the best out of it, you will need to invest in your information technology, because that's going to make a significant difference to how well you will be operating in the market. I will just stop at this point. We can have more discussions, and I think it will be more from the Q&A session that we will see what people are thinking.
Just to add, Mr. Kiran, what you just now said was, if you remember the AVAX coming in, when the defense thing was happening, airborne warning systems, AVAX, they came in
and control systems.
And they call them as the force multipliers.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So, and India was not able to afford them at the initial days, right? And they were very worried how to handle things. And today, now we have quite a lot of them, right? So, I would say IT has now become more of a force multiplier for everyone.
Absolutely. I think you have rightly put it. Yes, it's a multiplier. And the lack of right investments, I would not say investments, I would say right investments.
Right.
That's what you want. And you need to really draw out the entire landscape before you make that investment. Typically, we see that the problem which I see, Anup, is in most of the organizations, we look at each item in silo and we build in a technology for the item. So having a CIO will make a lot of difference, and so the IT infrastructure is built in such a way that there's an integration for your entire process. It's not just your manufacturing, because this event is all about manufacturing regulatory. But okay, you've done extremely well in the manufacturing and regulatory. Have you linked it to your pharmacovigilance? Have you linked it to your sales teams, your marketing teams? Have you linked it to your operations, making sure that you're having a seamless supply chain, and the supply chain is also being benefited from knowing that where my raw material is, I know the lead times, the systems bring it out exactly. Can we go into that kind of a system? Ensuring that the rejection rates are less, even if there is something, when you mentioned about predictive analysis. So if you are looking, if there is a predicted, damage or a predicted problem on a machinery, can we think of that indicating to my distribution channel that, okay, this product might fall short, and can I look at rationing it or ensuring that there is an equitable distribution so that all my stock points are adequate, rather than just going in on and on. These are certain things which can happen. And over the coming future, what I see is that with artificial intelligence, we'll be in a position to make a lot of these decisions automated and help the human being who is interacting to take a more informed decision. Finally, the decision is going to be a human decision. There will never be a point where all our data and all our information is going to be stored onto the systems. Be it a factory, be it a regulatory person, there will be one, I would say today possibly about 95-97% of the information would be there in the system, 2 to 3%. But the 2 to 3% can also make a mess if you're trying to eliminate the human.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just a few thoughts. Yeah, and leave the rest of the matter. Share their thoughts.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kiran, for sharing insights. Now.